Get the hell out of my house. In Jesus' name, I pray.
You know, having been a cast member, I understand why they have to fill the gondolas. But me? I love it when I'm alone. Story time from Disney. Now, if you follow me on a regular basis, you know that I used to be a cast member. That's me! You know, I spend a lot of time on my platform telling you to follow the rules at Disney. When they tell you to fill in all the available space, you fill in all the available space. If they tell you to go down to the end of a row to sit, you do not stop in the middle of the row. Unless you're a mouse-catool. Then you should also end up at the seat they tell you to go to, but also you're gonna fight the whole thing. Those rules are important and they should be followed. But also, I don't want to follow them either. Here's the thing. I think people don't realize that cast members don't like having to tell you to do things. But if you don't, do those things, efficiency just falls apart. Some of those things are uncomfortable and you don't understand why you have to do it. But I always say, look at Nemo. You know how long the queue is at Nemo? It's super long. And people normally walk that queue and wonder why it's so long. There's never a wait at Nemo. They can cut half this queue, they don't need it. We call that an opinion without information. You see, during the busy season, Nemo not only uses the entire queue, but they build one outside and it still goes from that queue over the bridge. Because when you see that queue, you only picture what you've seen, not what can happen and does happen multiple times a year. There are extended queues at Disney that if you do not go during the holiday and peak seasons, you have never seen. There's an extended queue at Mission Space that goes outside, and most people have never seen it. Having worked there, I've only seen it used like 4 or 5 times. But it's needed. When a cast member tells you a rule like move all the way forward, that's because if you all stand so separate from each other, people start ending up outside buildings. You also realize the amount of time lost between people that are taking up space like that. If you have large bubbles in between guests, then all of a sudden there's like a 2-second delay. And you're probably saying to yourself, 2 seconds, but 2 seconds here, 2 seconds there, 2 seconds here. Are people excited to ride a ride? Yes, but when they get to the actual vehicle, they kind of just mess around. It's like whenever somebody thinks they can come into a theater because their whole family's already there, but we're at capacity. Oh, I'll just stand in the back, I don't need a seat. I don't think the fire marshal cares if you want a seat or not. But becoming a guest after having been a cast member, I also don't want to follow those rules. I do because I know exactly why those rules are in place, but people are sweaty. I don't want to stand close to people. I don't want to share a gondola. People just putting on their sunblock and kids screaming that aren't mine. It almost feels like a hack to have a family of 4 because they can't fit anybody else normally in the gondolas with you. With you and the stroller and 3 other people. I don't want to share that time. I want to act a fool. I want to look out the windows and yell weird things. Like, yay! I can't do that with strangers. Strangers aren't allowed to see all my joy. I guess what I'm trying to say is we have to follow those rules because if we didn't, wait times would be higher, systems wouldn't work the way they're supposed to, and it would be disrespectful to the cast members. I'm also saying I like to ride my gondolas alone. And if you like that, go at non-peak hours whenever nobody's on it. Also, don't be a douche when they make you ride with somebody. Don't make yourself a problem. Just go with the flow, Jack. I'm sorry, I've never said that before. What I meant to say was go with the flow. Mitch!